Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of CityZilla Plays City Skylines. And in this episode, we are going to try and fix some issues we're having with not enough employees, some coverage issues related to our fire, police department, and our medical, and then other various issues that we're having within the city. I also think we're going to dive over to our new leisure area and probably rework it a little bit. I honestly don't think it's going to work out super well, and I kind of made a couple pretty key mistakes when it comes to zoning out commercial zones, and so let's go ahead and dive in. The first thing I want to look at is I believe we already did fire because our hazard level was really high, and so it's definitely gotten a lot better. And you can kind of see the downfall of having the incomplete streets on this. This is where you run into issues with coverage of services like this, especially in this game. The coverage isn't super realistic to where, like, I mean, these two fire departments have to be super close, whereas in real life this would be like a quarter of a mile or something, and so they would definitely be quite a bit farther. Um, but it's all right. It's part of the game. And so one of the things that we did need to do is jump into the police. Our crime rate was pretty high. I did start placing down a couple already just because I was trying to look at some areas that we needed to. And so basically, we're just looking for anything that's a little discolored. And what's going to show is areas that either have too much population in them to where we need to either plop down another little substation or we need to actually go in and put in a headquarters. And so you can kind of see this little dark area right here. There's a headquarters right there, and then there's actually the helicopter depot and then a substation right there. But this is a little darker because it doesn't have great access right next to it. And so I think putting a little substation right there is going to help out quite a bit, and it should actually turn these a little more blue. Let's see if it does. Don't know. But we will come back and check it out. I do want to look at some of the other darker areas, though. One of the areas is these stadiums right here. I went ahead and it's kind of funny because this is the police academy, and so you'd think that it would operate kind of like a police department, but it doesn't. And so I ended up putting the police headquarters there. But it is, it's funny. You'd think that would be like a huge police station, but honestly, I'm not sure how that works. And so I did change out a substation here for another headquarters. You can still see it's a little dark, but it's again because of those incomplete streets. But whoa, you can actually look at this area. This is really dark, and so I think this would be a good spot for us to put a little substation in. And let's see if it changes that dark green guy. Yeah, there you go. See, look at that. And so that right there is going to make our city quite a bit safer, and it gets people to start upgrading too if you get into an area where it's really bad. Kind of like how we were getting all those upgrades from this area when we were placing down the fire departments. Just kind of funny, we still have some gray areas over here. I think maybe we'll put in one little substation right there. Just because this is such a big area. Yeah, there you go. Now we fixed it. And see it because it says in the game that's too far. That's alright. So let's go back to what we were doing, the police department. So this area, I placed a headquarters right here, and I even put a substation in there. It's just because of the road layout, and so I really don't know how we're going to fix that without actually changing the road layout. This area would actually be really good for headquarters. It's only got a small substation, but it's a really big area with a lot of population. So let's see if we can fit this in without destroying too much. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks pretty good. And let's see if we can fit a little park next to this school. I think that could be good. I think it's going to be too big, but maybe we can fit a plaza in. No, yeah, it is too big. Yep. Oh, we'll just put in some trees. I could just do offices right next to it, but I really kind of don't want to. And I could put foliage down, but I would like to believe that maybe some of the students would come over there and study under a tree or something, and so I'm just going to leave it like that. And so, where were we? So I think our police coverage is probably about as good as we're going to get it. There are still some darker areas, but it has more to do with... Oh wait, you know what? This area right here, where's the nearest? So we got headquarters right there, we got a substation. We could put in another little substation right here, especially since this is our tourist district. It would be fair to assume that maybe there would be quite a bit of police stations in this area. So we can just destroy one building. This is going to increase our budget on this quite a bit, but I think it's worth it, especially with it being a tourist town, and so it would be something that we would have to pay attention to. I don't know if it's going to turn it lighter blue though, but I think that's pretty good. Then we got a little substation right there. This area down here doesn't have great coverage. It's on our boardwalk though, but again, because it's a tourist area, I think it would be justified. Maybe we can fit it in underneath there. It's not going to let me. That would have been cool. Yeah, you know what? Right there's good. Only destroy one building, and then it's kind of tucked underneath. You can see all the people running out. They're like, no, our jobs are gone. But now we got coverage down here, which is really what we're going for. And so, last but not least, we need to look at our medical coverage. Our average health is pretty low at 87%, and so a lot of it has to do with just how many seniors we have. We are primarily seniors right now. Yeah, so 34% seniors. So we are on the precipice of probably a pretty big death wave. You can see some of these neighborhoods are just filled with seniors, and so it's just something that you got to deal with in the game. I used to play with the life cycle rebalance mod, but I had some issues, some conflicting mod issues with some other stuff that I use, so I decided not to. Though I did use it for a really long time, and it is nice. And what it does is it just makes it so that when new buildings are plopped down, it's like scattered more, whereas when you place new buildings now, you get a bunch of adults and maybe some kids, and it just makes it so that everybody grows up at the same time, so that you get neighborhoods that you, like this, we zone together like this one. So we zone this whole neighborhood together on one episode. Well, now almost the entire neighborhood's gonna die together, and so kind of morbid, but it was probably easier for them when they were creating the game to make it like that. And so let's go back here and let's kind of look at some of our health. So I mean, this area is a good example because like this is I think that's those are like health amenities, but there's a little clinic right there. I think we can fit one back here. I think this would be good and justified because it's pretty dark. It's a big neighborhood, and so it would be nice to have, and so I think that would be good right there. And it did kind of go a little shaded blue. Again, this neighborhood, I guess we just plopped this neighborhood in without really thinking about a lot of these amenities. Yeah, that's good right there. And then this neighborhood, I could have swore we placed some amenities in here, but I guess we didn't. I guess we did have some over there, but we'll go ahead and put this guy right here. Let's see if we can anarchy that. Make sure. I mean, it probably could be justified, but it'd be a little weird for the people working inside the clinic. You know, that's good right there. It's actually really nice. These are nice little clinics. But now, I mean, this should theoretically... So we're already going up a little bit. 80. We were 87, now we're 88. And so let's look for some other areas. I mean, this area right here looks really dark. I wonder if we can fit in a hospital. Because there's a hospital right there. There's a hospital right there. Maybe we could squeeze one in on this side. I think that could be justified. It's just so big, we'll probably have to just put in a small one. I think if we put in a small one. You know what? That should provide a little better coverage for this area. Yeah, you can see they're turning more blue already. And then this side, you can see even on the far side, we're having some issues, even with the hospital down. Yeah, these are, there you go. They're turning more blue. But then this neighborhood right here, we didn't really do anything. Maybe we'll put one of these guys in. I think that could be justified, because it helps this neighborhood too. You know, I think that might be good. I think maybe on this side, we could afford a hospital. I think that could be good. Let's look at it though. Does it look weird? It does kind of butt up into our whole little area over here, but that kind of created a little cemetery complex. You know what? I think that's good, especially with the tourism in this area. I could see that being justified. Again, this area we didn't do anything, and so we will kind of follow that same pattern with the police station. We'll do that. At least now they have a little better coverage. I mean, this neighborhood has way better coverage. This police department, or this hospital, is doing really well. Yeah, so we're already up to 90%, which is great. And you can see a bunch of buildings are turning blue. They got better coverage. And so now if people are sick, they can come to the little minute clinic. And they are good. And I think, you know what? I think that's probably good. I think this will raise up even more as the city keeps going, but maybe not. Maybe these areas, maybe these high density areas are better suited for the hospitals, and that's where, like, I don't know if it's going to get that area, but we'll see. I think that's probably good for our purposes right now. Then let's look at our fire again. I think our fire is pretty good. You can see there still are some issues, but it's more tucked into the neighborhood. These, I don't know why. I think even when you place these down, it just doesn't come down this road. Like, these roads just aren't registered by the fire department. And I'm not really sure what's up with these two. I think it's a glitch or something, because I've tried to place them right next to it and it just doesn't work. And we have a whole fire headquarters right there. And so there's just some sort of issue related to that. We have a fire headquarters right there too, but for some reason it's too far for them to reach this back of the neighborhood. Fire headquarters right there. It's, you know, too hard for them to reach that area. And so I think that's probably good. Did I get one down here? Because it's an airport, I think we'll plop one right there. Airports would have their own little substations. And we're really getting a ton of airplanes right now. It's kind of funny to watch these, how they tend to use the same gates over and over, but there's supposed to be gates like throughout this whole thing. So I think like that's a gate right there. I think all these lines are gates, but the planes tend to use the same gates repeatedly, and I'm not sure what dictates which runway they use, but it'd be nice if it was kind of like the trains where they used all of them, because then they wouldn't have to back up and wait in line and all that stuff. And so now that we got that fixed, we have some issues with not enough workers over here. And yeah, you can see we're getting some abandoned buildings because there's not enough workers. And if we let this go, it actually turns into kind of a little epidemic. And so what I think I want to do is actually de-zone some of it. Because this is, and I've done this in cities before, and I'm sure you guys have too, where you just zone an entire district like this, and then it ends up just throwing everything off kilter. I think what we're going to do is probably, you know, so we need some more residential. And let's look at our noise pollution real quick. It's pretty bad. So maybe we will, I was thinking we could probably put some residential around this guy, but I think it's going to be bad. But I think, so we dezoned that. I want to kind of make some of these into little park areas. So I think maybe down this middle section, maybe we'll turn this into like a green space. I think that could look good. Yeah, right here, because then like the little intersections would be seen as like park space. So let's see if we can put some trees around this guy too. Just a couple things of foliage. That's funny. We had said we were going to come back after everything was grown. That's why I didn't pop down any trees or anything. But with these little parks and stuff, you can just do it right away. I think that looks pretty good. I like how our stadium looked out. I like the little pink flower kind of trees. We've got our hospital right there. And yeah, so we will. These are lots of stragglers. I think we'll get rid of this guy too. So what I'm thinking is just a nice green space in here. There you go. And then let's go ahead and put this guy here too. And then I could turn it into a park. I don't know if we're going to do that though. I know I could, but I think we're just going to do something tree lined, something that looks cool. Maybe we'll use these trees. Yeah, you know, because it's an open space, we wouldn't want to close it off too much. Let's do some bushes. They already got the trees on there. I would like to put rocks in, but I do rocks a lot, and so I don't want to just always do rocks. Though we couldn't put in some nice rocks. I think this is going to look good. A lot of times with tourist areas you see big kind of nature malls like this too, and it just creates like an open space, so it's not just really dense. You know what, I think that looks pretty good. I was planning on doing a little more variety when it comes to the trees, but I think that works. I think if we just do like a bigger tree in the middle, that could look good. What do we have though? Maybe something not too big, but we could do colored. You know what, I think these look good. Yeah, there you go. And so now it kind of just opens this space up a little bit. I think I'm just going to leave it grass, because I think grass looks very formal if used correctly, and I think surrounded by these trees it looks pretty good. I'm going to lower this guy down. I think we could upgrade that, but I think for the middle we'll do some trees. Maybe we'll do some red trees. We haven't really... I don't think they're tall enough. They would still be seen though, so maybe we'll... Yeah, one, I think that looks good. Hey, you know what? And so now it's kind of like a little walking mall, but it helps to split up the district a little bit, and it helps with having too many commercial buildings. And so this has really helped out a lot. Our commercial demand has gone up a little bit. I think it looks good. I think we still have some areas that we need to work on in here, but overall, I think we have made big improvements. And so that definitely should help out with not enough employees by taking away some of the workforce. We could also dezone these and just continue on that mall, but I think we're going to keep that at that. And we kind of need to figure out an area for us to expand more residential. I think because it's the downtown district, we can just continue doing some more high rises. Though I do want to start branching off into more low density residential. I'm thinking even maybe on this side, but I think because this is over here, we need to kind of follow this. And so I think we'll stick over here to where people need employees, and then we'll go to the other side because I know the industrial needs employees as well, and then expand these areas and see if that fixes the problem. It should. I'm not sure if it will. A lot of times it's proximity, but it should fix the issue. Most times if you have not enough employees, it's just not enough residents, or like in our case where all your residents are getting really old. So I think that looks pretty good. Come down here. I think I'm going to do like a nice little curve off of this guy. Well, it's not really a curve, but I guess it's kind of a curve. There you go. I mean, it looks good. It's kind of funny. A lot of times when you use this, it gives you this little rip, but it's alright. At least now we have a general idea of what we want to do. And that's a little too dramatic. Yeah, there you go. And so what I'm thinking with this area is more high-rise residential, but maybe we can do something a little unique here in the middle. I think this would be cool. I don't want to just continue following the same pattern, though it's really functional, and a lot of cities would. And so there's definitely nothing wrong with it. But I'm gonna try and create like a really big roundabout. I think that would be cool. A lot of the cities we've been to recently have these huge roundabouts in the middle of their downtown areas, and I think it just looks so cool, especially if you do it right. For some reason that last one didn't work out so well. Yeah, there you go. It's not perfect, but you know what? We are going to fix this. It's going to bother me if we don't get that right, and you can just draw it in to get it right, so it's not a huge deal. We're just going to back this up one more, and then we're going to go in here, and so we'll go maybe 4 wide, 3, 4. 4 is too big. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4 is good. So then we would need 2 to be in the middle. So then we'll just draw this out first, and then come to the middle. And we'll do 2 up, and then turn around and do 2 down. And then come back to our sides. And then do the same thing. 2 up and 2 down. And then now at least this is going to give us something close to a perfect circle. It actually should be perfect. I don't see why it wouldn't. But yeah, there you go. That looks pretty good. And then we just connect up our roads. Wham bam. And there we go. And then what I'm thinking is we'll create like a nice little park area out of this middle section. So we'll probably come in and get rid of the trees. We can get rid of all of them. We'll come back through. And there you go. And so I want to do like a big park in the middle. Let's finish off our road layout first. So this guy is going to be 3, 4, 5. Turn off anarchy, and then I want this to curve into the highway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know it, and another thing you kind of see in cities a lot is these diagonal roads. So I wonder if we can. I think we can. Yeah, you know what? So we'll probably do a diagonal road out here too, because then it'll kind of be a shortcut. Maybe we'll make that our freeway entrance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was off. Yeah, we were just recently in Buffalo, and they had a couple of these diagonal roads. I thought it was just smart. It's really smart. And so now we'll curve that in. It would have been better if we kind of wish this was straight. I think we're gonna make this straight, because this is gonna bother me. Just by looking at it, I was like, it's not straight. So we'll come in here and draw this one across. And of course, you know, it's kind of funny that actually might work out for our purposes, because we want the trucks to stop using that as a shortcut. So I think that's actually gonna work. I wasn't intending that, but after looking at it, I think that's actually gonna work better, having that tunnel there, because having the roundabout was causing trucks to take this as a shortcut, but now by forcing it to go a little further out, it should stop it. And so we're going to go ahead and hit that as a roundabout. I think maybe if we do another diagonal road down here, that could be smart. I'm afraid that it's going to congest this area up a little too much, but let's see. You do see a lot of these huge intersections, but I think it would be smart, and so maybe we could even cut that in to where... No, I don't want to do that, because we are going to keep this a roundabout. We're actually going to put this as a big one-way. It's like a huge roundabout. It's kind of funny. Americans definitely don't do big roundabouts as well as Europeans. Europeans, I've been on a couple big roundabouts where everybody just kind of knew what they were doing. Whereas in America, it doesn't work out as much. It's funny, Buffalo had a big roundabout, and there was no lines in the middle, and people were just kind of all over the place, and people were driving in the middle of what would probably be multiple lanes, and it was just kind of weird. And then another thing I've noticed, Americans tend to put stoplights in roundabouts, which is really weird as well, which does work, and I know European cities have them as well in certain areas, especially really big roundabouts. I don't like it because I feel like it stops the flow, especially if it's a smaller roundabout like Detroit had. A small like oval about, which I thought was really cool, but it had like 3 or 4 traffic lights on the oval about. And the reason they did that is because of how many streets were coming into it. And so like I get it, it makes sense, but I didn't really like it. And so it's kind of funny. I think maybe if we even do like a bridge, that could be interesting. We could turn this into like a highway. Yeah, maybe we'll do that, because then we could just come over our... No, we'll keep it that way. And if we start having issues, we can always change it. And then let's come up here, and we will probably now turn this into a highway. I think that would be good. And I want to just do one of those 2 lanes. We'll probably do the 3 lane. I think that would be good. This one is by unknown. It's weird. And so what are we thinking? I think if we come up, so we gotta stop right there. Probably be smart to do a stop right there. But then we could, you know, because that stop's so close. No, it would definitely be smart to have a stop like right there. So maybe we'll use this as a road into a new expanded area, maybe. Because I do know I want to expand over to this area, so maybe we'll do that as like a cut across road. Because I also still want to do that toll road too, so we'll see. But I think if we pass up this opportunity to put one right here, it's going to end up not being great. Yeah, I feel like that's going to work out pretty good. And then we could even extend our little skyway over here. I do want, so maybe, because this is a great road to have, so maybe we'll get away from it being an industrial road, drop it to the ground, and then have it curve down. Yeah, you know what? I want it to be a 90. I wasn't anticipating that being as bendy as it is, but I think it looks good and it kind of segues into our whole industrial area. So now people would have a little bit of access over there. I'm just going to plop in these exits real quick. Okay, and so I think that's a pretty good exit. I went into traffic manager and did the whole lane mathematics thing. I added the 4 lanes on this side, and then I went into the lane configurations and made sure that it's the right turn and the straight on are the shared, because the straight on is less likely used, and so I think that's pretty good. And it's kind of funny to set a diagonal. I wonder if the game would allow us to go down here and create like a super intersection. It actually does. Look at that. That's huge. You see these two and they're just ridiculous. Man, look at that intersection. This is confusing. I could see like a ton of crashes happening here. This would be a good spot for a roundabout, but do I want to have another roundabout so close? I mean, this looks really cool. Maybe we could keep it like that. I just know that the game's not going to be able to figure that out very well, but we'll see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go in here. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. This is a huge expansion. I mean, we could justify there being another roundabout. I just think it's so close to that other one. I mean, it's the same size. So maybe we'll come in here and just go 4-lane highway, sound barrier. Let's see what it does. It actually looks pretty good. Yeah, you know what? And it's so funny with all these turnoffs. I wonder how this is going to do. Let's do a tunnel. I think that could be interesting. Oh, wow. This is definitely a little more complicated than that thing is probably designed for, but I think, you know what? I think that looks pretty good. Let's go underground and see what it looks like under here. Like, of course, you gotta be the regular path. You know what? That actually doesn't look that bad. Yeah, you know what? I think that actually looks kind of cool. It's like a little bit of a snowflake, and having the tunnel down there provides us an opportunity to put in a little bit of landscaping. I really liked how that last one looked, where we did the red around the outside. Maybe we'll do something like that. I think that could be cool with the big tree in the middle. Yeah, look at that. I really like the color trees. I should probably get on the Steam Workshop and try to look for some more colored trees, because I think they look so cool. I like having color in the game. It's nice. Nope. I think that looks pretty good. And then we'll come into our little handy dandy foliage. And there you go. All these tunnels. Full snowflake intersection. But it works. So don't switch for, oh yeah, don't switch for those. Oh, it's because these ones don't actually have nodes right next to them. That's smart though. I think it's because the nodes are just too close, and so I think that's gonna work out. So we got freeway access. We split this up, but now, I mean, we definitely need. Maybe we'll turn that into our little highway. Maybe we'll have a highway come up here too, because I wanted to do that toll road. I think it's going to be saved for next episode though, because it's a really big investment and it's going to take a long time. I have to delete this entire thing, rework it, do a four-way interchange, and then I'm thinking it's going to come up here, curve around here, and then now that we have that diagonal road, maybe we'll cut it in there, because I was originally thinking it would come up here. Because our main problem is we just don't have great access to get over here from here. Like, they have to kind of go out of the way, and that's why these trucks are choosing to cut through here and go to this interchange right here. So I think that looks great. I do want to, before we forget, come in here and find some nice paths, and probably, yeah, I want the paths to be in the middle because it could kind of be like a park. Maybe we'll even add these guys in. I think this would be good. Yeah, there you go. And now even the little park path has, that's funny, the trees formed a little circle. That looks cool though. And then, I don't know if we'll turn it into an actual park. We could, but then I'd have to put gates around the whole thing. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think we will. But I do want to see what this thing does. We don't want a tunnel. We will do inner roundabout. You know what? I think that actually looks really good. That actually worked out a lot better than I was thinking it was going to. I just want to lower this down. Yeah, there you go. You know what's funny? We can actually put a unique building in the middle there. I would want it to be something park-ish. It's so funny, did our festival area delete or something? No, it's still there. I don't know what's up with the unique buildings. It's got to be an issue with one of our mods, because it now all of a sudden says it. Unless you can get 2 festival areas, which I'm not sure of, but maybe you can, but I don't know. There you go. We'll come in here. We do need to do the aviation club though. That's totally, I forgot about that. I was thinking like right here would be cool. No, I don't think we're gonna have anything that's gonna look good. Some of these are just so easy. Visited by at least 5,000 people. So maybe we will turn this into. I think we're gonna turn it into a park, and then I'll just do one little entrance so that it designates it a park. There we go. Well, let's just do one little guy. We're just gonna delete one of these. I don't think I painted it far enough. I don't think so. Why is it not snapping? It's not snapping on the bent road. No. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it. Why is it so dumb? Yep. You know what? We don't need it anyways. It was just, yeah, there we go. Didn't mess it up. Oh, that's good. And so, yeah, we don't need to do that. It would have been nice, especially with the whole tourism aspect, but I don't think it's a huge concern. I do want to create some bridges though, so that people can actually get down here. Though I don't really know if anybody's going to, but I think it would be nice to believe that maybe some people will. Probably just do a couple. Yeah, there you go. And then come over here. Actually, might have worked better if I did the. I think we'll delete that guy. Yeah, that looks okay. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks pretty good. So now people, if they wanted to, could come down here. I wonder if we could do the park main gate off this guy. Kind of makes me want to do like just a little bit of a road, just to be able to fit it in. Maybe we'll do like a small little road. So it's kind of frustrating. Nobody's gonna come down here unless we have park assets. Yeah. Let's see if we can just play around with a little baby road. It's gonna mess up everything we got going. Maybe we'll do right here. Yeah, maybe we'll, because this is, no, we'll do this one. Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to mess up everything we got going, but I want to be able to get this so that people actually come in here. Otherwise, we're just doing all this work for nothing. Which is okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it would be nice to actually see people down here, and so I think that's what we're going to try to do. Maybe we'll turn this into a one-way too, because then we can get a couple trees. Yeah, there you go. Now we got a park main gate. Everything else in the park is free, but now we got a main gate. So let's see. We'll get a couple plazas. Maybe we'll do right there and right there. Maybe we'll come across and do the same thing over here. Maybe we'll do like right there. We're pretty far out. Let's see how much of the... don't know how well that looks. Maybe we'll turn that into a bridge piece. Hey, you know, that looks okay. Kind of swoops in over the plaza, but then it provides us that symmetry, which is really what I was trying to go for. We'll add in a couple of these guys. Let's see, we can get them back here. Let's see, no, it's pretty cool. You know, and play a little chess under the. And then we'll come down here and we'll do a couple restaurants. So right out the gate, we're just going to pretend that these are different restaurants. We'll do a couple restrooms. And then we'll do a couple info booths. And then we'll probably put in some gazebos. I want to try to follow that whole symmetry thing though, and so we're going to go right there, and then we'll switch colors. And we'll go right here, right there. Switch colors again. Actually, we have to stay on that color. So we'll go right there. And you know what? I think that looks pretty good. And then the only thing left we have to do is place down some trees. And so let's see what we can get going in here. Okay, and so it's so funny. We're creating this area when we still need to do the park around the airport. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I think right there's good. And then let's see if we can get some of these red guys in, just because why not? Yeah, right there. And then might as well, since we're kind of following a trend here, maybe we'll go right there. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks pretty cool. And then let's see about, maybe we'll go with this guy. I think it's a little bit, we'll find like a bigger tree. I think that would be good. Yeah, you know what? I think this one's going to work. And we'll probably have this one extend all the way out. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks pretty cool. I like having the little trees in the middle, and then we'll probably just put a little bit of foliage in between these guys. And then let's place just a couple little single trees. Maybe we'll do something bigger, but with a little color, maybe. Where was that bright green one? No, maybe we'll do this guy. I think that could look cool. Yeah, some real big trees. And I'm sure this whole place is probably going to catch on fire, but I'll have to make sure to put like a fire watchtower near it or something. Maybe we'll even put one in it. We could do that. Put a watchtower like right next to it. Let's see if we could do that without having it look really weird. I mean, if we get it in the middle, could probably do a small roundabout. No, we'll keep it at that. I think that looks really good. And then, you know, we could do some trees around the outside too. Maybe we'll do those same little trees. Maybe these ones. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll come in the middle here. You know what, I think that looks pretty cool. It's like a tree-lined roundabout. We got this guy too. Let's do the same trees for this one. Yeah, I like that. Kind of the bigger trees, more decorative. Maybe we'll do some bushes on this side too. We could probably do bushes on the other one too. Be like a little bit of shrubbery right in front of the tall trees. I think that looks good. I'll just have to come in and clean up these little guys. I don't think that really does anything special, so we'll probably just keep that like that. We could probably do a little bit different, but it works. And so let's come in here, and I think we're just going to do nothing too fancy. We'll probably do one ways just because it's going to make sense in this area. And so because this is like that, then we'll come down. I think we will. That's so funny. We can. You know what? I think that's gonna look okay. Yeah, I agree. And then we'll do a 2-lane for this guy. There you go. Probably do something similar over here. I'm just thinking about traffic with these, and so I'm trying to do roads that are going to make sense. And that's why the one-ways, it's really, I mean, when you're dealing with grids like this, one-ways are kind of what you have to do. But did we do one-ways for that one? We didn't for this one. Though we want to. And then I want to commit this at a 90-degree. Yeah, there you go. And then we'll probably just have that continue. I think that would be smart. Okay, so I think this is pretty good. I think having these roads like this has worked out in our favor. I think it came out a little weirder than I was anticipating. I wasn't really planning for this hexagonal shape, but I really like the roundabouts, and that is something that I was planning for, is these bigger intersections. Just because a lot of times this is what you see in cities, and so I think what we'll end up doing is probably doing the bulk of this as low density residential, just because it's a really nice area and we'd be able to get a bunch of homes in. And it's also good, I know, for the game to do a mixture of them. You don't want to just do all high density, because I think the high density attracts different age groups versus the low density. I think it attracts more families and stuff. And so I think that's it for this episode. I ended up taking a little more time than I was thinking, but on the next episode we are going to zone it in, and we're going to do some more landscaping and everything. And let me know what you think. Let me know if I missed anything, and thanks for watching.